Did you know that over 70% of Gen Z feels disconnected from their real selves because of the pressure to look perfect online? Or that 60% of young adults today say they've experienced loneliness, despite being more connected than ever? It's shocking, but these numbers reveal something we all need to talk about: the identity crisis that many in Gen Z are facing when it comes to love and relationships. We're constantly told that true happiness comes from finding the one or having the perfect relationship. But what if that's not the full story? In this video, we'll dive into the world of modern relationships, where social media, dating apps, and shifting definitions of love leave us confused and searching for something real. Stick around to uncover how social media illusions, the pressure of labels, and unrealistic expectations are holding you back from true happiness in love. We'll explore simple, effective strategies to find love and happiness that's grounded in reality. Get ready to discover the truth behind the love you deserve. Chapter 1: Lost in the Scroll, Social Media and the Illusion of Perfect Love. We're living in an era where social media defines much of our reality, especially when it comes to relationships. Gen Z grew up with Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, which flood us with images of perfect love lives. But here's the truth: those picture-perfect moments are often staged. In fact, a survey by the American Psychological Association found that social media can make us feel more lonely and insecure. While you scroll, you're bombarded with curated posts that make everyone's love life seem ideal, but the real story is often hidden behind filters. According to a study by Pew Research, 60% of Gen Z believe social media distorts reality, particularly when it comes to relationships. We see influencers flaunting extravagant dates and perfect couples, which can create a dangerous expectation that love should always be flawless. But real relationships are full of ups and downs, something social media rarely shows. So, what's the impact of this? Gen Z's belief in the idea of a perfect love can lead to dissatisfaction in their own relationships. The trick to escaping this trap is to remind yourself that behind every filtered picture, there's a real person with flaws, struggles, and ordinary moments. Don't let the illusion of perfection steal your happiness. To navigate this, focus on building a relationship based on authenticity, not curated highlights. Love that's genuine and real is more fulfilling than anything you see on a screen. Chapter 2: Swipe left on authenticity. Are we truly connecting? Dating apps have revolutionized how we meet people, but they might not be helping us build real, lasting connections. With just a few swipes, you can decide if someone is worth your time, but here's the problem: relationships take more than a quick judgment. Studies show that 70% of online daters report feeling lonely, even when they're talking to someone on an app. This reveals the irony: we're more connected than ever but feel disconnected on a deeper level. Think about it: with dating apps, we tend to judge people based on looks and a couple of catchy phrases. But those first impressions miss the heart of who someone really is. According to Psychology Today, this kind of shallow approach may be why so many Gen Zers experience dissatisfaction in their relationships. Sure, you can find someone who fits your type on paper, but that doesn't mean they'll be a good match for you emotionally or mentally. What can we do about it? Start by making the effort to really get to know people. Move beyond surface-level conversations and focus on emotional connection. Ask deeper questions, and be honest about what you want in a relationship. The more authentic your conversations are, the more likely you'll form a connection that actually stands the test of time. Remember, real love isn't about swiping left or right, it's about the people who stick around when things get messy. Chapter 3: Love Without Labels, the New Age of Fluidity. For Gen Z, the old rules about love and identity don't seem to apply anymore. The world is moving toward a more fluid understanding of sexuality and relationships, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, a 2020 Gallup survey revealed that 15% of Gen Z identifies as LGBTQ+, which is a significant increase from previous generations. This shift shows that Gen Z is rejecting the labels that once defined their romantic lives. The idea of love without labels isn't just trendy, it's a reflection of a more open-minded approach to relationships. But let's be real, while this fluidity can be liberating, it can also be confusing. Without the clear-cut labels, it's easy to feel lost. You might find yourself wondering where you fit in or how to describe your feelings. According to the Kinsey Institute, the rise of fluid sexual identities is a double-edged sword. It offers freedom, but it also challenges many to redefine what love looks like for them. So, what's the key to making this work? Embrace the uncertainty. Love and identity don't have to be defined by labels. Focus on how someone makes you feel, rather than sticking to traditional categories. Whether you call it bisexual, pansexual, or something else entirely doesn't matter as long as you're being true to yourself. Don't let societal expectations box you into a version of love that doesn't feel right for you. The new age of fluidity gives you the space to explore, and that's something Gen Z has mastered better than any generation before. If you're finding this content helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more insights on building real love in today's world. Chapter 4: The Happiness Paradox, Chasing Love, Not Happiness. In today's world, it's easy to think that finding the perfect relationship will bring us happiness. For many in Gen Z, love becomes a quest for external validation. But what if this is the wrong approach? Research shows that focusing on external sources of happiness, like a perfect partner, can leave us feeling empty in the end. A study by Harvard Health revealed that people who prioritize self-love and inner happiness are more likely to have healthier, more satisfying relationships. It's important to understand that chasing love for happiness may actually push us further from it. Often, we look for someone else to fill the gaps we feel inside ourselves. This mindset can lead to unhealthy dependence and even codependency. According to Psychology Today, people who expect their partners to make them happy tend to be less content in the long run. Instead, happiness should come from within. When we nurture our own sense of joy and fulfillment, we bring that positive energy into our relationships. So, how do we break free from this paradox? Start by focusing on your own well-being first. Find what makes you happy without relying on someone else to complete you. Whether it's through hobbies, self-care, or building your own career, make sure that your happiness is rooted in who you are, not just who you're with. Once you become content with yourself, the love you share with others will feel more balanced and genuine. Chapter 5: Self-Love versus Self-Doubt. Navigating the battle within. Self-love is often discussed as the key to healthy relationships, but it's not always easy to achieve. For many in Gen Z, self-doubt is a constant companion, especially in a world full of expectations and comparisons. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, nearly 41% of Gen Z experiences anxiety, which can be tied to struggling with self-esteem and self-worth. This internal conflict between self-love and self-doubt can make it difficult to form strong connections with others. The good news is, self-love isn't something you achieve overnight. It's a practice. In fact, studies have shown that people who actively practice self-compassion are more likely to experience positive mental health. A book called The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown explains that embracing our imperfections is one of the most powerful ways to practice self-love. When you accept yourself as you are, flaws and all, you can start to build a healthy relationship with yourself first. A great strategy to overcome self-doubt is to make a habit of positive affirmations. Research by Harvard Medical School shows that positive self-talk can reduce stress and improve overall mental health. Instead of letting negative thoughts rule, replace them with affirmations that reinforce your worth. Over time, these small shifts can lead to a stronger sense of self-love. The more confident you are in yourself, the more you'll be able to give and receive love from others. Chapter 6: Unpacking the One. Is soulmate culture creating unrealistic expectations? The idea of the one is deeply embedded in many Gen Zers' search for love. We often dream of finding that one perfect soulmate who will make everything in life fall into place. But what if the idea of the one is actually hurting our chances of finding real, lasting love? A 2020 Pew Research study found that 60% of young adults have doubts about the idea of one true soulmate, with many viewing relationships as works in progress, not fate-driven events. This belief in finding the one can set us up for disappointment. Expectations become inflated, and when things go wrong in a relationship, we can begin to think we've made a mistake. In his book Attached, Dr. Amir Levine argues that our attachment styles play a significant role in how we connect with others. If we believe someone is our soulmate, we may ignore warning signs and settle for unhealthy dynamics because we feel they are meant to be. So, is it time to rethink the idea of the one? Instead of expecting perfection, try viewing relationships as opportunities to grow and learn with someone. Real love is about compromise, communication, and understanding. By removing the pressure of finding a soulmate, we can focus on building a love that's grounded in mutual respect and shared experiences. Let go of the fantasy of the perfect partner and embrace the reality of creating a meaningful connection with another person. If you've enjoyed these insights, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more ways to build love and happiness in today's world. These 6 chapters cover everything from social media's impact on love to the importance of self-love and realistic expectations in relationships. By focusing on authenticity, inner happiness, and shedding unrealistic ideals, Gen Z can break free from the confusion and build healthier, more fulfilling relationships.